Thank you, Chairman. I can confirm that we're now live streaming on YouTube.
Thank you. Welcome to the public and press viewing on the meeting by live stream on YouTube. This being a remote meeting under the government's new legislation, I am Councillor Stan Avison, Chairman of the Licensing Committee. It is my role to control this meeting. The role of the Licensing Committee is to view any licence of the leisure industry where appropriate. This also includes taxi and hackney carriage licences and driver's licences. There are 11 councillors normally, but on this occasion it's a subcommittee. There are 3 councillors who will make the decisions. There is also a number of officers presenting reports and administrating the video conference. We also have our legal advisor with us. Make sure your mobile phones are off or on silent. Please be on mute unless speaking. This is really important, otherwise the video becomes less clear. Make sure your video is turned on. When you want to speak, press the blue hand button on the participants list, then I will call you in turn. If you need to leave the meeting, please let me know before you leave, otherwise we won't know if you meant to leave the meeting or if you have left due to a connectivity issue. Thank you very much. I will now move to the agenda. The first item on the agenda is to elect a chairman. Councillor David Andrew, would you like to propose, please?
I propose that Councillor Avison is chairman for this meeting.
Thank you.
And I will second that, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Cullen. Disclosure of interest, if any.
Yeah, can I just put that I'm a personal licensee holder and also living in Mablethorpe, that I know Michael Ken when he walks around. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Cullen. Register of attendance. Would you call those out, Joe, please?
Thank you, Chairman. If you can just confirm whether you're present, councillors. Councillor Stan Avison.
Present.
Councillor David Andrews.
Present.
Councillor Graham Cullen.
Present.
Councillor David Manjon.
Present.
Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. I will just go around the pictures as I see them on then. If you could identify who you are, please, for other viewers, that would be very helpful. I have Mr. Twiddy, who is our Principal Licensing Officer.
I'm Adrian Twiddy. I'm the Principal Licensing Officer here at East Lindsey, and I'll go through the basis of the licensing team's report and just some of the processes that the committee will go through. I'll go through those in a moment for you. Thank you.
I also have Mr. Challen.
Thank you. Yep, John Challen, and I'm the Safer Communities Service Manager here at East Lindsey District Council.
Thank you. Our legal advisor, Kim Robertson.
Good morning, Kim Robertson, legal advisor to the committee today.
I have Michael Kane from
good
representing.
morning.
Good morning, Mr. Kane.
Good morning, Michael Kane, Kearney Licensing Consultants. I'm the agent acting on behalf of the premises licence holder, although Miss Clover will be doing most of the speaking today on our behalf. Thank you.
Thank you. Sarah Clover Hallford representing Meadows Bar.
Good morning, Chairman. Sarah Clover. I'm the barrister representing the premises licence holder, Teen Spirit Limited.
Thank you. Sergeant Enderby.
Good morning, Chair. Good morning, everybody. I'm Sergeant Kim Enderby. I'm the Alcohol Licensing Manager for Lincolnshire Police. I'm hoping to have PC Casey joining us today, but she is still experiencing problems getting in. I don't know if Mrs. Patterson could send her an email to see if she can assist in some way, because she's rebooted the computer, but she still can't get in, unfortunately.
No problem, I can do that.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Mr. Sheehan, please.
Yes, that's me. I'm the owner of the premises, and Mr. Ellis is
the operations manager for Team Spirit.
Lovely. Thank you very much. And the other two you can see on is Joe Patterson, who is running part of the show today, and the other one is Elaine Speed, who's there taking minutes as well. And we have just come on to view is Rebecca Casey, PC Rebecca Casey. Good morning. Well, her picture's there, but she's not. Thank you. Before we go into private session, I will now move on to ask our Principal Licence Officer, Mr. Twiddy, to if he could run through his report first, please.
Thank you, Chair. So I'll run through the report, and the actual application for review is in the public domain, so I'll go through that. But of course, later on, when you're looking at the evidence in relation to the review, that's the evidence that's been submitted in support of the premises licence holder, and also the evidence that's been submitted by Lincolnshire Police, there are personal and data issues involved in that. And so if you're happy, the committee will move into private session at that point. But if all the rest of the parties are happy, I'll go through just the initial proceedings, the fact that an application for review has been called, and anything that I say at this juncture, Chair, I don't think there's any problem being in the public domain. So this is an application for review of a premises licence in relation to Miller's Bar, which is in Chapel St Leonard's, and that application for review was submitted by Lincolnshire Police, Chair. I'm not going to go through the application for review by Lincolnshire Police. I think that's Sergeant Enderby's role to go through, for him to say why there was the application for review and the basis for that review application. But what I will do is I'll go through the process of how we got here today. But also, before we go any further, I better just double check that everybody's got the paperwork or had access to the paperwork. So you've got the premises license review report pack, which was done by the licensing team, and that went out 10 working days before the hearing. There's also the police's evidence pack, which I've done a front sheet for, and that was evidence pack submitted by Lincolnshire Police. And then everybody should have access to the premises licence holders evidence pack as well. And that came out to you towards the end of last week. So hopefully everybody's got access to those. So like we've said, this is an application for review of a premises licence, Chair. That's been submitted by Lincolnshire Police. And based on the evidence that you hear today and the evidence that you've had submitted in advance of the hearing, there are a number of decisions that you can make today as the subcommittee. But what I would say to you, I'll go through the range of decisions. You're not obliged to take action against the premises licence today if you don't think it's appropriate. If the steps that I mentioned you feel that are not warranted in any shape or form, then you should leave the licence in the form that it is at the moment. So the application, like I say, Lincolnshire Police will go through, Chair, but the steps that you can take today are set out on the front page of my report, and then it goes on to the second page of the report. So you could amend the premises licence if you feel it's appropriate to do so. You could amend the premises licence. You could remove the designated premises supervisor. You could suspend the premises licence for a maximum period of 3 months. You could revoke the premises licence if you feel it's appropriate to do so. But what I would say to you is you shouldn't revoke a premises licence if a lesser step is more appropriate or is appropriate. You can issue the licence holder with a warning regarding future conduct. You can mix and match those decisions, I'm going to say. But if none of those steps are considered appropriate, then the premises licence should stay as it is, and you shouldn't take any action against the licence in any shape or form. So the licence holder at this point is Teen Spirit Limited. And Teen Spirit hold a number of licences with this authority. And I've given you a summary in the report of the range of licences that Teen Spirit hold with this authority. The actual application for review has been advertised outside the premises. It's been advertised at the council offices at Tedder Hall, and it's also been advertised on the council's website. That was for 28 days, and that did not attract any representations from other responsible authorities. So the council's environmental health team, Lincolnshire Trading Standards, Lincolnshire Fire and Rescue, none of those made representations in relation to this review. The review or the notice of it did not attract any representations from any other parties. So that's local residents, local businesses and such like. None of those were, no representations were attracted in relation to that either, Chair. I've given you a summary of the times and conditions and such like in relation to the premises, and that's set out in the report for you. I've also given you, like I say, the conditions in relation to the premises. I would say some of the conditions attached to the premises licence are quite dated now. They come from 2005, when the licence converted from the Magistrates Court to East Lindsey District Council. So just to let you know, some of those conditions, as you read them, you may look at and think they're quite dated, but that's for another day, I suspect. We've also given you in the report extracts from East Lindsey District Council's licensing policy, and where appropriate, where we feel it's appropriate, we've given you extracts from the section 182 guidance from the Home Office to licensing authorities. And I'm sure Miss Clover and probably Sergeant Enderby will refer to aspects of the section 182 guidance as we go along. Unless anybody's got any particular questions to ask me, Chair, I don't really intend saying anything else at this juncture. Apart from to say that you are in this review going to consider, there will be some of the evidence includes personal data, whether it's CCTV or other aspects. So I would really recommend that you consider going into private session at this juncture. And I think also the police and Miss Clover would also like you to consider going into private session at this juncture as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Twiddy. Has anyone got any questions for Mr. Twiddy before I propose moving into private session? No. So I propose under section 100A4 of the Local Government Act 1972, the press and public be excluded from the meeting for the following items on the grounds that if they were present, there could be disclosed exempt information as defined at paragraph 1, 2 and 7 of part 1 of the schedule 12A of the Act as amended. So I propose now that we move into private session and hear the application for the review of the premises licence, Millers Bar, Esplanade, Chelsea St Leonards. Thank you.
Could we have a seconder, please, Chairman?